Welcome to the Land to Lots podcast, powered by Launch Development Finance Advisors. And now your host, Carter Froelich.
Welcome everybody to the Land to Lots podcast. My name is Carter Froelich, and I'm glad you're joining me here today. The topic of today's podcast is thinking about your thinking and asking better questions. And the way we're going to structure today's conversation is through what we call the DOS conversation. And the DOS conversation is what we typically do with our initial meetings with a client to get a picture of what they're trying to accomplish with their project and where they would like to go with their project, and what are some of the dangers that need to be eliminated. What are some of the opportunities that the project has that need to be captured? And then ultimately, what are the strengths of the organization and or the project that need to be reinforced and maximized? Now, I would like to say that I thought up what we're going to be talking about here today, but I didn't. And the DOS conversation comes from the strategic coach program taught by Dan Sullivan, something that I have been a member of for a number of years. And we thought that this was an excellent tool to utilize with our clients to have them think a little bit differently than they typically do on a real estate project. Because let's face it, when we're starting a real estate project, our mind goes into overdrive. We have checklists, we have procedures that we typically follow to make sure that we're not missing anything and to get the project moving. However, when we come in to talk to our clients, the first thing that we will ask them before we get into anything is the question that goes something to the effect of, if we're meeting here 3 years from today, Mr. or Mrs. Developer, and looking back over that 3-year period, let's just use that for our time frame. What has to have happened for you to feel that we've made progress on your development? And then we stop and we start listening. And this oftentimes is a question that does not get asked by consultants of their clients very often. And it is important for us to ask this question because we want to know the direction that our client is going. And if we don't know where they're going, there's no way that we're going to be able to help them get there. So that question can, once asked, our developer clients may go on for 10 minutes to 30 minutes. And they are starting to talk about everything from doing due diligence to having discussions with the city related to the provision of utilities. Where are the utilities? Where do we need to bring the utilities from? What type of financings are available? What type of entitlements are there on the project? Are they good entitlements? Do I need to change the entitlements? Does it have conditions of approval? Does it have a development agreement? There's a lot of things that we in the development community think of when we start another project. But this is more of a general question, and by having the developer respond in a big picture fashion, that really puts bookends on what we're trying to accomplish, where we're at today, and where we need to go over this time period. So once we have a great understanding of where we're going, we get into the next question, which is, what are the biggest dangers that we need to address, to eliminate, to get you to where you're going as it relates to the vision that you had just provided us? And it's really important that we have found that we have this type of conversation with our client, because they're carrying all of these ideas in their head anyway. And by asking the question and then taking notes of these dangers, we're getting it out of our client's head and we're getting it onto a sheet of paper. And we think it's really important to lay out all of the dangers that need to be eliminated to move the project forward. Not only, and for a number of different reasons. Number one, that allows us to understand what we will be needing to address as it relates to the financing, as it relates to the entitlements. And here again, when we're doing entitlements, we're primarily looking at the financing aspects of the entitlements. And then how do we create certainty and flexibility as it relates to overcoming and eliminating those dangers so that we can be of value to our clients. Once they have gone through and we've gotten all of the dangers down on a sheet of paper, we then ask them, well, what are the opportunities that we need to be focusing on and capturing as a result of this project? And here again, our clients have been carrying around all of this information in their heads for a long time. And now it's their opportunity to lay out, here are all of the positives that this project has. And here are the opportunities that I would like to capture as it relates to us, my company, me pursuing the vision that I have for this project. And this could be everything from a great school district, great topography, low tax rate. The city is great to work with. The utilities are to the site. We've got builders interested. I mean, a lot of these opportunities, one may think, has nothing to do with the financing of the infrastructure related to this project. But this is a holistic view that we take of the project, and all this information that we're capturing can be utilized by us as it relates to crafting the financing strategy for the project. After the client has gone through all of the opportunities, then we like to end up with, well, what are the strengths that you have as an individual, as a company, as a team that we should really be reinforcing as it relates to pursuing your vision that you have for the project? This is a real important question because I like to leave the client with a great deal of confidence, meaning, well, we've done these kind of projects multiple times. We've got a great partner with the city. I've got great contractors. We've got a great accounting team. We've got a great project management team. But this gives our clients a lot of confidence that they're going to be able to pursue their vision. Once we have gone through all of the dangers, opportunities, and strengths, we then ask our clients to boil it down to the top 3 dangers, the top 3 opportunities, and the top 3 strengths that they have so that we can really begin to crystallize the developer's vision as to what needs to happen first, what are the greatest priorities they have in terms of addressing their dangers, what are the greatest opportunities that we need to get on right away to optimize and maximize and capture, and then what are their strengths that they can rely upon. The beauty of this is that while our developers have been carrying around all of these thoughts in their head as it relates to beginning to move this process forward, now what they have in the span of an hour, hour and a half, really is a blueprint for what they need to do to be able to concentrate and spend their time to move the process forward, to start taking them in the direction of the vision that they articulated at the onset of this DOS conversation. And we found it to be a great way for our developer clients to think about their thinking, to identify the top 3 challenges they need to overcome to get them moving in the direction of their vision, what are the top 3 opportunities that they should be spending the majority of their time focusing on to move in the direction of their vision. And then what are the strengths of their organization and their team that they can rely on to take them to the finish line. I hope you've enjoyed the overview of the DOS conversation. This is a critical component in the way we start every one of our engagements with our clients, because we want to work collaboratively with our clients to move them in the direction of their dreams. And the only way that we can do that is by getting all of this information down. And once the information is down, the developer can share it with their team. They have a clear pathway towards what they need to do to start moving in their direction. So I encourage you to go to our show notes. What we've done is we've included a blank copy of the DOS conversation worksheet as a part of these show notes. And I really encourage you to print out the form and utilize this, because it can be a great time saver and give you a direction as it relates to moving your projects forward. Thank you, and look forward to speaking with you on the next podcast.
You have been listening to the Land to Lots podcast with Carter Froelich. Tune in next week for the next episode.